Hey, hey, hey. You better have your toy. You're going to need it tonight, sister. You're going to need all them toys tonight. Get my drugs ready. My little drug box filling up. Jackie! How are you? And no, Carly's not here yet, Nina. How about that debacle over on Foxy Fanatics? That was awful. I hate Facebook. I just hate Facebook. Jackie, you know anything about websites? Especially free ones. Yay! You need the time off, girlfriend. You're working way too hard. I wished I was off until Monday. I'm thinking about creating a website for this group, and I'm debating. I don't know how. I don't know if I want to do the live reads on the website or do them here and then post them from the website. Which Sarah? Who's Sarah who? Sounds like a naughty vacation. Hey, Pebbles. That would be awesome. I'm getting some stuff going, and I got some other projects I want to do, and at least one more project for the time being I'd like to do, and I'd like to have a website set up. Gonzalez, that's Sarah. Lord help this world if that's where you're going. You do? I think I can manage it and create it. I'm just not sure on see? I had to stop and think all the different Sarahs that we know together, the kind of thing. Hey, Lori. Oh, you guys are so awful. Okay, I appreciate it. I just don't know about the whole. Because see, all the basic author sites that I see that have authors that have websites and stuff, they don't have videos and stuff. So I wasn't sure how a video would do on them and how, if that was going to cost me extra. I don't mind paying a little bit for a decent site, but I don't know for sure who to go to. Like, I looked at GoDaddy, and I don't mind paying some of their fees. Well, girl, don't burn yourself, because Pebbles, don't burn yourself, because this is going to be a hot one tonight. Fancy, I'm sorry. That might have been a part of my problem tonight over there was my phone may need to be cleaned out. I'm trying to think. It's been a couple days since I cleaned it out. I quit downloading freaking games on my phone. So, but yeah, Jackie, I'll see, I do YouTube on my Chromebook, and then I have to do Facebook on my phone, and because Facebook doesn't, it wants to do something goofy and make me download crap and stuff on to do live reads from my phone. I mean, from my Chromebook. Oh, honey, this one's pretty hot. I was all right. Y'all about ready? Let me get one more thing done here. I'm filling my I filled my my pill box, all my drugs in between live reads. And I bought this cute little thing. It's got the days of the week on because I take morning and nighttime medicine. I'm a drug addict, y'all, but a legal one. So, and they're really cute because you can take them out, and like when I go on trips and stuff, I don't want to take all my meds with me. I can just take the days of the week I'm going to be gone and whatever. But it's hell to fill. So I have one of my old pill things, and I'll go through and I separate out, and then I got to move them over. But it's a pain in the ass. I got to come up with a better way. All righty. So let's get this party started. Everybody got their hot flash kits, aka drinks and toys. Whew, man, that thing's bright. Ugh. It came a storm today, y'all, and my power went out for an hour and a half. I took a nap. And then I emailed my boss when it came back on. It says, you need to adjust my time. Oh, good. Good. All right, here we go. So, you guys are just going to have to, oh, crap. Huh. I can already tell. Is Carly here yet? No. Nana, have you talked to Carly? Can already tell I'm going to whip Carly's ass before this is over with. Because I've been finishing this book up. It's all the way to, I just got to the epilogue, and I can already tell it's not going to end the way I want it to. So I'm going to have to kick some ass. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So Carly wants me to read, I'm reading, it's part of the Dirty Dawn's book 1, and it's called Bought by the Dawn. And I'm starting in the middle of chapter 3, and I'm going to read 4 and 5. Maybe, depending on time, I might read a little more. Because she likes for me to read the dirty parts. We like to read the dirty parts, which most of her books the dirty parts. Okay, so what is, I don't know. Okay. And this is, the Dawn in this is Russian. The girl is American. And I'm not very good at Russian except for rolling my R's. So y'all bear with me. And I tried to do this in Russian and read it with Russian accent, and it just got crazy. Okay. So okay. So the main character's name is Vadim, for Vladimir, and the girl's name is Jewel or Jules. And then we'll get to the rest. Hell, Nina, I'm starting with chapter 3. Chapter 3, Jules. I'm the devil. The sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be. But no, Angel.
He chuckled darkly. I'm as bad as they come. You'll find out soon enough. Deep down, I knew what kind of man Vadim was. He's a rabid beast, ruthless, dominant, mafia, but still a sexy beast. I don't care that you've killed or tortured. You're a good man, Vadim. He penetrated me with his fiery gaze and wrapped his hand firmly around my neck. I clawed at his wrist with both hands as I gasped for air. Vadim, I whimpered, please. Angel, you have no idea how powerful I am. If I really wanted to, I could take your top virgin cunt. There wouldn't be anything you could do about it either. I take what I want when I want. By the way, she was a virgin. He bought her at an auction, but not for the reasons you think. Um, he found her when she was 15, saved her, and then put her in the care of this other couple to raise her, to finish raising her. And when she was 18, that couple sold her to this guy who ended up putting her up for an auction. But because she was an 18-year-old virgin, she went for a lot of money. And that's why he was there, was specifically to buy her in order to save her. Um, Bottom's threat and tenebrous stare makes me rethink my assessment of him. Instead of being quiet, I whisper, then what are you waiting for? Take what you paid for. This side of Bottom excites me. He sets my body on fire. There's nothing stopping him from taking me. So what's he waiting for? Spread your thighs, he snaps. I have no choice but to obey. I bit my lip as he released my neck. Nerves twist as he brings his hand to my cheek and murmured, open up for me, Malishka. I part my lips and moan when his thumb traces my mouth. I can feel his hardened member brush against my pussy lips through his pants as he pressed up against me. The bittersweet taste hits my tongue when he forces his thumb in my mouth. He cursed under his breath as he slides it in and out like it's his cock. A small whimper escaped my lips when he retracted his thumb. I was desperate for more. Obviously, the drug's still in my system. I blame the drugs, but that's not why I'm acting like a whore. No, I craved Vadim in ways I'd never craved anything before. One touch from Vadim wouldn't be enough to satisfy my hunger. I needed more, wanted more. Hey, Jody. Please, Vadim, I whimpered. Please don't stop touching me. Oh, my little jewel, I'm just getting started. What are you? Vadim crushed his lips against mine and kissed me hard. He groaned as he claimed my mouth furiously. His tongue skimmed my bottom lip and invaded me, and my body surrendered to him no accord. I submitted willingly. Please, Master Malishka. Malishka, he growled. If I don't stop now, I'll break you. How can you break something that's already been broken? I'm damaged beyond repair, tainted. Vadim growled. His eyes flared in anger. He tipped his head to the side and brushed his lips against my ear. I shuddered when he hissed slowly. You're not broken, not yet. His promise leaves me breathless as he parts my slit and slides his middle finger inside. He stretched my walls and hums in approval. Hmm. Why is why is my virgin so wet? His promise rings in my head. You're not broken, not yet. Break, break me, I whispered. Not yet, Malishka, but soon. I arched my back when he speeds his thrust and smiled in satisfaction. Make me come, Bottom. Bottom's lips curve as he retraced his finger. No, Fuck! I cried out. Please keep going. His eyes narrow into slits and he says, You will come. You will come, but only when I say so. Bottom. No, you're not ready yet. I'm ready, I argued. No, he chuckled and shook his head. You, my little angel, are not ready to come. Boss, I have news to report. I hear one of his men say through the door. Stay here. I'll be right back. He kissed my forehead. You can touch yourself, but don't come. Vaughn pulled away and stepped out of the room. I closed my eyes and let my fingers dance between my thighs. I opened my slit with two fingers and bucked my hips. Sliding my digits over my button, I moaned loudly, even though the piercing throbbed. Oh, by the way, for the auction, they pierced both her nipples and her clit. So, and they're barely healed. Even though the piercing throbbed, I kept circling my clit. The pain of needing to come was way worse than the metal that pierced my tender flesh. My eyelids fluttered and my body trembled when my breaths quickened. Feels so good. Through my blurry vision, I see Vadam step back into the room. He locked onto me, his eyes darkening with each step. His lips twitched as he discarded his suit jacket, dropped it to the floor. Another step, another piece of his clothes gone. This time, his tie. Bottom. I whimpered, my fingers trembling as my ass comes off the mattress. Bottom untucked his shirt and began to unbutton his shirt. Tears leaked from the corner of my eyes, a tightness forming in the lower region. I paused movements only to hear him demand, Keep going, baby girl. Jerry's not on here easy because I'm doing a lot of baby girls tonight. Matter of fact, that's what Malishka stands for, from what I understand. I raised my head and mewed, Vadam, please make it go away. Vadam's shirt falls off his broad shoulders and down his massive arms. He's nothing but perfection under his suit, muscles and tattoos. It's everything that makes my pussy purr. He eased onto the bed and slithered up my body. His breath hits my skin when he lightly blows on my nipples. Vadam, touch me, please, I whispered through harsh breaths. Begged Malishka. Tell me how bad you want me. Uh, please. I'm begging you. I love hearing you beg for it. It makes my dick so damn hard hearing those sexy noises. Do you have any idea how hard it is to hold myself back? Taste me, Vadam. Taste you? Tell me where you want me to taste your sweetness. My pussy, Vadam. Vadam spread my slit and stroked my clit. Everything seemed to go by in a blur when he rode my tenderness faster. The throb of my sex made me cry out in ecstasy. Yes, Vadam. That's a good girl. Tell me how bad you want to come. So bad, I whimpered. I was under his control as he kissed my lips, completely and utterly at his mercy. Come, Malishka, get your pussy nice and wet for daddy. Bottom. Come, Malishka, get your pussy nice and wet for daddy. Bottom. That's not my name, Bottom growled. What? Bottom cupped to my jaw and hissed. You will call me daddy. I'm not smack. Say it. He smacked my thigh. Daddy. Please, Daddy. That's better. Now it's my turn. You're going to open that pretty mouth and watch me fuck your face. No, I blurted out. Are you telling me no? Bottom. You will obey me at all times. Bottom gripped my jaw and squeezed him hard. You will do exactly as I tell you or receive a punishment. Fuck you, I growled. What am I doing? Where's this confidence coming from? He tightened his grip, causing me to cry out in pain. If I want you to get on your knees in front of my men and suck my dick, you fucking will. You are mine. Do you want your punishment now or later, Malishka? Now, Daddy. Turn over and present your ass. I didn't have time to turn over because Vadam hauled me over his lap. I'll be gentle since it's your first time. I'm going to give you 5 spanks for disobedience and count each one. Enjoy, Jackie, and be safe. Smack. One, sir, I moaned. Vadam smoothed his palm over my ass to soothe the sting. He brought it down on my left ass cheek, this time harder than last time. Tears rolled down my face. Two, sir. Another smack. 3, sir, I moaned. 2 more swift spanks, one on each cheek. 4, 5, sir. Spread your legs and let me see how wet you are, Bottom demanded. His fingers probed my slit and rubbed circles on my clit. Good girl, he praised. Does my angel wish to come? Please, Daddy, I begged. I arched my back and rocked my hips. Bottom slid one finger inside me and stroked my clit with the pad of his thumb. Bottom brought a fistful of my hair and yanked my head back. He leaned down and whispered in my ear, Come, angel, come on my finger. Oh, Daddy, I cried out. I'm going to. Come, he growled. Oh, God. Fuck, Daddy. I felt my pussy clamp around my finger and coat him with my juices. Even after I came, he kept pumping his finger. He added another and groaned. So wet, angel, tight and all mine. Please, Bottom. Bottom retracted his finger and flipped me over on my back. He brought his glistening finger to my mouth and commanded me, Suck, angel. I parted my lips and sucked seductively. Bottom cursed in Russian and forced more of his digit into my mouth. I didn't think I would like to taste myself, but I do. It's sweet with a hint of bitterness. He retracted his finger. Now, Angel, down on your knees. What? I stuttered. Down on your knees. Boss, I hear Lexi question Bottom. Is now a bad time? No, come in and have a drink with me. I widened my eyes when Bottom shoved me to the floor and unzipped his pants. Suck. But I told you, Angel, you will do as I say, and right now you will suck me off in front of Alexi. Now it's warming up, girls. Chapter 4, Bottom. Alexi entered the room and averted his gaze from the angel on my knees. I found the back of her neck and eased my hard member in her mouth. I leaned my head back and groaned. Fuck, Angel. Boss, Alexi asked. Come and have a drink, I said. Alexi nervously poured vodka into 2 glasses, trying not to glance at Jules. It's okay, Alexi. You can look. Alexi downed the contents of his glass and slammed it down on the counter. Alexi stayed behind the counter, obviously to hide the fact he was aroused. I patted the spot next to me and said, Sit with me. He stepped around the counter and sat next to me. Jules bobbed her head, moaning softly. Alexi swallowed hard and covered his erection. I chuckled and wrapped my arm around his shoulder. She's beautiful, yes? Yes, boss, he whispered. Very beautiful. Would you like a taste? I asked. He shook his head. It's okay. Since you're my number 1 man, I'll let you join us. I pulled out of Jules' mouth and whispered to Alexi. What would you like her to do? Suck me off, he rasped. Angel, how would you like to be shared? Her eyes widened when Alexei licked his lips. Bottom, Alexei's going to take out his cock and slide it into your mouth. You will suck him off. Bottom, Jules whispered. And he's going to come in your mouth. You will swallow it and thank him for feeding you. Yes, Daddy. Good girl. Slide over and serve him. Alexei unbuttoned his pants and unzipped them. Sliding them down, his cock stood proud as it popped out of his pants. Jules slid over and wrapped her fingers around the shaft. She ran her tongue over the head as she looked him in the eyes. Good, Alexei moaned. And then he said something in Russia. I have no idea. I stroked her cheek and said, She's a very good girl. Shit, Malishka. Alexei thrust his hips. Suck faster. It would be so easy to get behind her and take what I paid for him, but I won't. Not yet. Jules isn't ready to take me and her pussy. However, I can pleasure her in other ways. How close are you to coming, Alexei? I asked. So close, boss, he whispered. Come, Alexei, fill her mouth with your cum. Fuck yes, gonna come now. Jules whimpered when I slid behind her and pulled her arms behind her back. I held her wrist with one hand and reached between her thighs. I pressed my lips to her neck and groaned against her. Be a good be a good girl for daddy and swallow every drop. Alexei closed his eyes and lolled his head back. His hips bucked, filling her mouth with his cum. Her soft moans did nothing but turn me on even more. God, you look so sexy with a cock in your mouth. Alexei pulled out of her mouth, his member going soft. Thank you for feeding me, Alexei, Jules whispered. I told you, Pebbles. And it's just getting started. I wasn't even supposed to read the first chapter. You're welcome, sweetheart. Alexei tucked his cock in his pants and zipped them back up, buttoning it. You're. I need some tea. These deep voices are killing me. You're such a good girl, I said, delving into her wetness. Please, Father, Jules moaned. Tonight is the night, baby girl. I'm going to take your pussy for the first time. And guess what? She shook her head. Alexei's going to watch you be taken by me. Is he going to join us? Jules asked. Maybe, but that's entirely up to him. I pumped my fingers and heard Jules' harsh breaths. Her moans fill the room, and fuck me, tonight can't come soon enough. Isn't she beautiful, Alexei? I asked. Da, boss, Alexei whispered huskily. Very beautiful. Alexei shifted in his seat uncomfortably. He's obviously aroused again, despite just getting off to her. Jules, I murmured softly, do you wish to come? Yes, sir, she moaned out loudly. I held her wrist tighter and retracted my fingers from her wetness and smirked when she let out a strangle moan. Please don't stop. I pressed my finger against her clit and worked slow circles around it. Alexei leaned forward and cupped the side of her face. He lifted his eyes and whispered, Boss, may I? Kiss her, Alexei. I said, applying more pressure to her clit. Alexei closed the space, crushing his mouth against hers. I should be jealous of another man touching Jules. However, that's not the case. Seeing my second in command make out with Jules has me on fire. No, not angry, but burning with desire. All I want to do is spread her out and take her deep, hard, fuck her real good. de-virginize my little jewel, and after watch Alexei make her come again on his dick. Alexei groaned, taking one hand off her cheek to slide it down to his crotch. For someone who was so against buying Luciano's sister, he sure is keen on kissing her. I didn't force his hand, I merely invited him to the party. He's the one who asked to indulge in the forbidden fruit. My strokes and Jules became quicker, more fierce. I know she's close because of her labored breaths. You may come, Malishka. I slid a finger into her wetness and moved my thumb over her clit. She gasped and arched her back. I'm coming, sir, she moaned in Alexei's mouth. Alexei tears his lips away and leans back to watch Jules convulse against my body. Her pussy clenched around my finger, making a slow smirk spread across my face. Alexei whispered in Russian profanities under his breath as Jules comes hard. She cries out, falling limp against my chest. I feel Jules' juices slick on my finger, a sloshing sound in the air. Oh, please, sir, don't stop, she cried out. Head falls back, and first, I'll be back for him. But first, I need to put Jules to bed. I took Jules' limp body in my arms, holding her to my chest. Carrying her across the room, I laid her gently onto the bed and covered her naked body with a blanket. I smiled down at her when I heard her let out a satisfied sigh and whisper, Thank you, sir. Rest, baby girl, I murmured, leaning down and kissed her forehead. Now for Alexei. He deserves a reward for showing so much restraint. I walked across the room, careful not to alert Alexei. Now he's got his pants undone. He's breathing heavily as he pumps his cock in his fist. I slide next to him and put my arm around his shoulders. Boss? Shh. Let me help you. You want to come, yes? My free hand covered his and helped him stroke his dick. His head falls back on my arm and groans. Boss, what are you? I crush my lips against his mouth and make him stroke himself faster. I love pussy, but nothing turns me on more than my second in command. He moaned when I slid my tongue into his mouth. Fuck, boss, he whispered. I'm going to. I pulled away from his lips and demanded, Come, Alexei. Cum shoots out as he bucks his hips against my hand. Bottom, I'm coming. Feels so good, boss. I told you guys it didn't stop. Alexei's body jerked as the last of his cum shot out. When he caught his breath, his eyes widened when he realizes how close our bodies are. Relax, Alexei. It's just us right now. I'm sorry, boss. Just go with it, Alexei, I whispered, crushing my mouth against his lips once again. I felt Alexei stiffen when I pulled him closer. Relax. It's just us. Boss. Shh. Submit to me. Alexei pulled away and glanced across the room. Jules was curled up on the bed, sleeping. Do you want to watch me pop her cherry? I asked. I knew he did, just needed to hear him say the words. Yes, he whispered. Alexei turned away from me as I watched him squirm in his seat. Would you like to join me when I fuck her for the first time? Yes, boss. Good. I want you to get our girl nice and wet after you wash off. Get Jules ready to take my dick in her unused pussy. Alexei went to tuck himself back into his pants, but I grabbed his wrist. Take off your clothes and shower. Alexei hesitated at first, but stripped his clothes off. He stepped into the bathroom, leaving the door ajar. This gives me the perfect opportunity to grab a few things. All right, Pebbles, you ready? A blindfold, rope, ball gag, vibrator, and my first personal favorite, butt plug. I took off my shoes and my jacket. I laid it on the couch and unbuttoned my shirt. Stripping out of my pants, I sat on the edge of the bed and glanced towards the bathroom. I could see Alexi's bare ass through the glass as he showered. I could go in there and press my body against him, shove him against the wall, take him, but I decided to wait. Soon, Alexi, but not yet, I whispered to myself. I wanted to hear him say it, wanted to hear him beg me to fuck him. I would, but not yet. Soon, though, very, very soon. I saw Alexi step out of the bathroom in a towel wrapped around his waist. He eyed the toys I had laid out on the bed and bit his lip. Drop the towel, I demanded. Alexi dropped the towel and cupped his private area to hide his erection. I chuckled at that. I chuckled softly at that. Now, get on the bed and get her wet. Alexi pulled the covers off Jules and climbed under the bed. He forced her thighs apart and kissed her inner thigh. I stood up and stepped behind Alexi. My hands found his hips and ground into him. Fuck her with your tongue. Jules parted her lips, her blue eyes fluttering open. She widened her eyes, shocked that it wasn't me that was between her thighs. She moaned when Alexi palmed one of her breasts. I leaned over Alexi and whispered, Good boy. Alexi groaned when he felt how hard I was. Jules threaded her fingers in Alexi's hair and bucked her hips. She looked good like this, completely at our mercy. I pulled away from Alexi and picked up the rope. I stood over Jules and grinned. Hands up, Malishka. She held on to the headboard and swallowed hard. She looked frightened. Don't be scared, little one. Do you trust me? Yes, sir. She shouldn't. Lord help me, she shouldn't. But she does. Perfectly submissive to me. I wrapped the rope around her wrist and tied it in a knot. I tugged on it and smiled down at her. Her blue eyes dilated as she began to get closer to her release. I didn't know it was because Alexi's tongue was doing wonders, or if I didn't know if it was because Alexi's tongue was doing wonders, or if tying her up did her in. Either way, she was going to come on his face. I climbed onto the bed, caressed her cheek. Come, Malishka, I want you to drench Alexi's face. She does, and it's glorious. Is she wet, Alexi? Yes, he whispered, and he pulled away from her. Good. I want you to take my place. It's time for me to take what I paid for. I glanced at Jules and asked, Do you want me to fuck you while Alexi watches? Yes, she whispered. Chapter 5, Alexi. I took Bottom's place next to Jules and watched my boss. He tugged down his boxer briefs and knelt on the bed. I couldn't stop thinking about Bottom. He stroked himself and glanced at me. A slow, devious grin crept across his face. Come here, Alexi. I crawled to him and stared into his eyes. He sucked me in with his hardened eyes and demanded, Get down there and get my dick wet. I took him in my mouth and sucked greedily. So many nights I've waited to do this, and so many nights I got off as I whispered Bottom's name. I love a pussy, but I also swing the other way too. Go deeper, he growled. I take him deeper and gag when the tip hits the back of my throat. Bottom cursed under his breath and ran his hand down my neck. He finds the back of my neck and thrust his hips. I reached down between my legs and stroked him. Bottom threaded his fingers in my hair and took it into his fist, jerking my head back. Lie down next to her and kiss her. Yes, boss, I whispered. I laid next to Jules and turned my head to face her. Her blue eyes sear into me as I lean in to her. I whisper, I, I kiss her gently as Bottom eases his cock inside her. She whimpered into my mouth as he slides a little more in. Tears leak from the corner of her eyes, thrashing against the rope. Relax, baby girl, I hear Bottom tell her. It's almost in. When he's all the way in, he groaned, Fuck, Malishka. I can tell Bottom is holding back so he doesn't hurt her. I keep kissing her and palm her left breast. I brush my thumb over her pierced nipple and hear her whimpers turn into moans of pleasure. Alexi, stroke her clit. I pulled away from her lips and scooted over to her hips. I pressed two fingers to her swollen clit and stroked her. She bucked her hips and cries out. Her thighs trembled as Vodom pumps his cock in and out. Her fist clenched and moaned when Vodom fucked her harder. Now that she's gotten used to Vodom's cock, he's going hard. He's going harder. Damn, baby girl, I'm not going to last too much longer. You're too tight. I'm going to come, she whimpered. Come, baby girl, he growled. Vodom pulled out and stroked himself as he came on her stomach. Thick ropes of his cum shot on her skin, marking her as his. Clean her, Alexi. I know you're just dying to have a taste. My tongue runs over her belly and licks the remnants of his cum. The taste is bitter, but so good. I love how he tastes, bitter and sweet. My balls ache from needing to come. I finish licking the last of his cum and meet his gaze. He breaks his stare to look down between my legs. Go sit on the couch, Alexi. Do you wish to come? Yes, boss. Lie down on your back while I untie Jules. She's going to take care of your needs. I laid on my back and stroked my cock. The veins on my length were visible and my balls hurt. They hurt so damn bad. Bottom helped Jules straddle my thighs and whisper to her, Jerk Alexi off. He needs to be taken care of. Jules wrapped both hands around my length and stroked me. I closed my eyes and let out a strangled moan. Her hands felt good, but her pussy would be better. Or her ass. Such a good girl, he murmured. I mumbled under my breath and sucked in a breath. Tingles ran through me when I felt Bottom's fingers take one of my nipples between his finger and forethumb. Oh fuck, I groaned. Put your mouth on him, baby girl. Suck him off. I opened my eyes and hissed, Fuck, Malishka, almost there. I clenched the sheets and my hips jerked as I came in her mouth, and holy shit, it felt so good. My body relaxed, and a sigh escaped my lips as she swallowed my cum. Bottom brought his finger to the corner of her mouth and wipes the small drop of my cum off of her. He puts his finger in his mouth, sucking it off, and moaned in approval. Delicious. I can't help but blush at the sight of my boss tasting me. Secretly, I want him to bend me over the bed and fuck my ass. I can't help but feel jealous that Jules got fucked by him. And the way Bottom is looking at me, he knows exactly what I'm thinking. Don't worry, Alexi. You're next.
You guys want one more chapter? I think we need one more chapter. Carly can fire me. Jules. I never thought having two men pleasure me could be this intense. It was so much more. The way Alexi's tongue felt on me and had me feeling like I was going to explode. And watching Bottom and Alexi together was the hottest thing I'd ever seen. I ached between my legs, but it was a good ache. Bottom took me gentle at first. Then something snapped in Bottom. His eyes darkened. A storm was brewing in them. He took what he wanted, and I gladly gave it to him. Mariska, give me a kiss, Bottom demanded. I kissed him softly, but he had other plans. He swallowed me and consumed me. He drank me in and deepened the kiss. The darkness in his eyes told me he wasn't done with me yet, and just like that, I'm ready to be taken by this beast of a man. Bottom pulled away and crushed his lips against Alexi's mouth, doing the same thing to him, only this time the kiss was ravenous, like he couldn't get enough of his second in command. Bottom tore his mouth away from Alexi and commanded him, Now you kiss her.
Make love to her mouth, Alexei. Alexei leaned over and covered my mouth with his. Bottom skimmed his fingers over my hips and groaned. Yeah, that's it, baby girl. Submit to him. Give him your all. Alexei, I moaned. Good girl, Bottom praised as he took my breast in his hand and squeezed. I gasped when he shoved them together. His thumbs brushed my tightened nipples and cursed under his breath. I didn't know what he was saying, but it sounded hot coming out of his mouth. Alexei pulled away from me and whispered to me, Do you want more, my little jewel? I nodded. I craved each one like crazy. Bottom saved me. No, he saved me once. And then when I saw him again, he bought me. Now he owns me. Alexei did too. Bottom was nothing like Yuri. Sure, he's dark and dangerous, but with me, he's gentle when he needs to be. And when I need him to be the beast, he is. His wolf scratches through the surface and takes me. Fierce, hard, passionate. Alexei, on the other hand, he's here with us because his boss wants him to be. While Alexei is gentle, Bottom is rough, and me, I'm their shiny new toy. They call me their little jewel, baby girl, good girl, and I am. I'll be anything they want me to be as long as I can have them both. Go get the shower ready, Alexei. We need to clean up our little jewel. We need to clean our little jewels up. Alexei leaves to get the water warmed up, and I'm left with Bottom. He traced my cheek and murmured, I didn't hurt you, did I? No, sir. Everything was perfect. Good, because I'm nowhere near done with you. Bottom picked me up gently and held me to his chest. He kissed my temple and whispered in my ear, Let's get you cleaned up, Malishka. Bottom stepped into the bathroom and set me on the sink. He glanced back to the shower and curved his lips. Alexei was standing under the water with his eyes closed. He tilted his head back as he stroked himself. Bottom met my flushed state and smirked. Seems like Alexei needs some more attention. Seems like Alexei's the only one getting off around here. Go inside and give him a hand. I'll be right behind you. I slid off the sink, but Bottom wrapped his hand around my wrist. Make him feel real good, Malishka. Yes, sir. I opened the door to the shower and stepped inside. I pressed one hand onto Alexei's chest and one around his hand that was stroking his cock. His eyes snapped open, a panic flashing through them. It's okay, Alexei. It's okay, Alexei. Bottom is right behind me. Baby girl, he swore. You're so addictive. She is, Bottom chimed. Our little Jules has become quite the obsession. I helped Alexei stroke his length and pressed my lips to his neck. Bottom wrapped his arms around my waist and kissed my shoulder. His mouth moved upward, making his way to the side of my neck. Bottom, Alexei groaned. I've dreamed of this for so long. Oh, yeah? Bottom asked. Oh, yeah, I've jacked off so many nuts when I imagined you fucking my ass. That changes tonight. Alexei froze mid-stroke. It changes tonight because tonight that fantasy becomes a reality. I'm going to bend you over my bed and fuck you hard, fast. I'm going to obliterate you. Obliterate you. Oh, fuck. I'm going to come. I massaged Alexei's nipple as I sucked on his neck, and Alexei came on me for the second time tonight. His hot cum splashed against me and painted my flesh. I was marked once again. Bottom trailed his lips against my neck until his mouth was next to my ear. Would you like to watch me fuck Alexei while he eats your pussy as a reward for being such a loyal soldier to me? Yes, sir, I whispered. Does it turn you on to see Alexei and myself together? So much, sir, I replied. Alexei let out one more grunt and fell back against the tile, relaxing against me. Bottom took his chance to push me under the water. The hot water warmed my body as Bottom washed Alexei's cum off of me. Fuck me, Malishka, Bottom swore. I can't wait to see Alexi's face buried between your thighs while I fuck him. Bottom circled his arm around my waist and whispered softly, Do you think you can handle us at the same time? I moaned when he cupped my pussy and squeezed. Alexi stepped forward and curved his lips. I was once again sandwiched between the two of them. Just as Alexi was about to close the gap and kiss me, I heard a knock on the door. Bottom groaned and kissed my temple. I'll be right back. I want you and Alexi to get out and dry off. Alexi, start warming her up for us. Boss? He questioned. I'm still going to fuck you, Alexi, just as soon as we take her at the same time. Alexi and I stepped out of the shower and dried off. I dropped the towel on the floor and started to turn the knob. Alexi covered my hand and whispered, Let me check to make sure it's clear before we go in there. Alexi? This isn't up for discussion, baby girl. I turned to Alexi and nodded. I knew better than to argue. Alexi cracked the door open and nodded back to me. He took me by the wrist and led me to the end of the bed. My body was pushed down until I was on my hands and knees. Face down, ass up with your thighs spread. What are you going to do? I stuttered. Alexi leaned over me and whispered in my ear, I'm going to get you ready for the boss to take your ass. By doing that, I need to insert a butt plug to stretch you out for him. A whimper escaped my lips when I felt liquid squeezed on my asshole. Alexi spread it around and slid his finger inside. I moaned when he slid in more up to his knuckles. It burned, but it brought an excitement inside of me. He pumped his finger a few times and withdrew it. Cool metal was then pressed against me and pushed inside. He slowly pushed more of it into me and groaned. I felt my heartbeat pick up when he patted the plug with his hand and murmured, And this is why we call you our little jewel. Vaughn had this one special made for you to complete your piercings. I tried to turn over, but Alexi held me in place by the hips. Keep this position, baby girl. I have a few more things to add. And that's all I got time for. I don't have time for another one. You guys are just going to have to go by the book. Again, Bought by the Dawn by Carly Davis. If you don't know how to get a hold of it, go back to the Nook. And Dina's been posting it all day. All I got is the epilogue left reading. I have a feeling it's gonna piss me off. Because this is book one. I have a feeling it's gonna be a cliffhanger. Alrighty. So I'm assuming everybody loved that one. Guess what mine doing tonight? Alright. So tomorrow night. Where am I? Tomorrow's July the 1st. Okay. Tomorrow night, Love and Beyond Part 2 by Nathan Colston. And then Thursday is Rocket City Blues by J. Morgan Woodall. So, and a special read tomorrow night at 9. I'm going to be reading Candy Fox. I was supposed to read in her group tonight at 7, but had an issue with it. And so Facebook, as usual, was being a butthole. So tomorrow night here at 9, I'm going to be reading a couple of chapters for Candy Fox. So tomorrow night I'll be my male voices are going to be worn out tomorrow night. So get ready. All right, everybody. I think that's the lowdown. You guys have a wonderful night and happy reading.